Lovely. Look, he's already using the sword in that model. Boom, boom. I'm guessing we're gonna have to fight against them again, yeah. This is what I hate. Literally, they're both telling the exact same story. I'm trying to think, is this right? This dude's kind of dumb a little. And we are back once again with Slime ISEKAI Memories. Today we are here doing the brand new event, Scarlet Reminiscence, which is either it's gonna tell the events of the movie, which I don't know if it is. It would be weird if it does that because I don't think the movie is out. Maybe it just literally came out in Japan, but I don't think it's out anywhere else. So it'd be pretty strange if this like new event tells the entire movie like when it's not even out anywhere else. Or this is gonna be the lead up to the movie, which would also be like, I guess, kind of interesting. But I only know a few like summary details from watching the trailer about the movie, so hopefully this doesn't spoil the movie because I want to watch it, but we'll see. Alright, let's see. It looks like we're gonna verse against an org disaster for the before the expedition part 1. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be like lead up to the movie. Alright, I guess that's all the luggage I'll need. I mean, it's not like I'll be staying there long. That being said, whether I can come back safely or not will matter on luck. The royal family can use magic powers of the Tira to neutralize the pollution from the mines and protect the people from its poison. Okay, I'm guessing these are movie screenshots or still images. So I'm guessing these are officially from the movie. I'm guessing it's not going to be too much. Well, we'll see. But in exchange, they're poisoned by the curse placed on the tiara. Still, if we don't mine gold, we can't import food, and we can't feed our people. Why not just have, like, a different person use the tiara per day? Just so one person isn't, like, having to damn themselves to death. That seems like the most reasonable choice. But we mustn't let Her Majesty put herself through any more pain. Then how about we cultivate the forest of Gerard? Cultivate the forest? We can be self-sufficient. The people can cultivate the fields and the soldiers and I can go hunting. Don't be stupid. Violating the forest protected by the storm dragon Veldora would be insane. So you're saying that Her Majesty should keep on suffering like she is now? You don't think that's insane? Ack. Chancellor Rimuru. Perhaps if we're to be honest with him, he might allow us to cultivate some of the land there. Or? I hear the nations takes all sorts of monsters. I shall be the envoy to Tempest. You won't say no to that, will you? Very well. But be careful. I don't want you to find yourself in a snake pit, okay? I know. Besides, I'm going to see a dragon. I have no business with snakes. I'm guessing, this dude's kind of dumb a little. I'm guessing he's not the brightest. Will I encounter a good-hearted orc or a devious snake? It would be so much better if it was an orc. But our village is no longer... Hero? Your Majesty, you must rest. And look, she already has the tiara on her. I heard from Mobaju, Mobaju? That you are heading to Tempest in order to get permission to cultivate the Forest of Gerard.
Ah,
Yeah, I'll be sure to get permission so that the people can eat. So please, just rest, Your Majesty.
そんな
It's my fault that you have to meet such a dangerous storm dragon.
いや、
It's not your fault. I'm doing it for you, and for the entire nation. For everyone who saved my life. Besides, I've heard the Chancellor Rimuru is a reasonable monster. I'm a monster myself, so he's bound to at least let me negotiate with him.
いいえ
Still, I don't want you to go and risk your own life.
そうだな。
Your Majesty, remember when you told me that you wanted me to live the life that I wanted?
ええ
Yes. I want you to live freely, and that is why, if there is a risk to of death, I do not want you to.
そうだ。
The expedition is something I'm doing on my own accord. That's the honest truth. I just can't bear to continue living without showing my gratitude to everyone.
そうだな。
Your Majesty, rather than trying to prevent me from going, could you pray for my safety instead? I promise to return soon.
いいえ
Prayer alone is not enough to save everyone. You should know that more than anyone else.
うん。
You're talking about our village, right?
ごめんなさい
Forgive me. I didn't mean to bring back memories of your past, but
いや、
no, it's a good opportunity. I want to tell you something that happened in our beautiful village before it was destroyed, and just how much the village power of prayer saved me.
Eh?
The power of prayer?
あ、
Yeah, that day, we were talking about going on an expedition, just like today. It's a silly story, but hear me out. Hero. It must be difficult for him to look back on the days in the village, and yet he's being cheerful for my sake, and calling it a silly story. There was a farewell party before my men and I were set to leave, and our holy princess, who was the daughter of our chief, was supposed to give a prayer for us, but there was a slight mishap.
えーっと
A mishap?
そうだな。
I was going on an expedition to try and make some dough as a mercenary, but I wasn't really sure who else to take with me.
さて、
Since I was the strongest youth in the village, it was decided that I would go. Of course, I chose to go on my own accord, but the other guys weren't necessarily suitable. I had to choose someone who was willing to come along. I also had to be strong enough to be a mercenary. Long story short, there was plenty of men who wanted to join me. So much so that I had decided who I should leave behind. Okay, so it means his group was so big of people that wanted to join that he had to leave a few. And he chose, I guess, the prince or chief's daughter, or chief's son. I guess the best assassin they had. And I don't know, what would you call Shion? A brawler? Weird. Some of the guys were my childhood friends who looked up to me and called me brother. They wanted to come along, but they were simply too young. Yeah, these dudes do not seem too young. Probably in the movie I'll actually have a flashback to how young they actually looked. I wanted them to stay in the village and keep trading so they can protect the young master and our princess. Shoot, I forgot that no one in the village had names back then. It's a bit inconvenient when it comes to telling a story.
そうですね
Could you just tell me their characteristics then?
そうだな。
Okay, one of my childhood friends I mentioned was black hair, who was a craftsman. Damn, just their characteristics. The second one was blue hair, who was good at espionage. And then there was the purple hair, a woman with incredible strength.
あ
And finally, there was young master, who was the chief's son, and heir, and his younger sister, princess.
さて
Naturally, both young master and princess had to remain in the village. As for the other guys, I wanted them to hone their talents in order to be able to protect the dynasty. So first, I called the blue hair and purple hair. Okay, so yeah, this isn't gonna, I guess, like, show the actual movie. This is more or less gonna be, leading up. Also, I thought they were brothers because he looks so close to Benimaru.
遊んでやる
So that's what I honestly thought. Let's see. I guess it really... Okay, I was like... I wanted to hit 3 attacks, but I only hit 2. I was like, are they gonna survive that?
少しは楽しみ
Bum, 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 bum. The man they called brother. Okay, I guess this is how they explain it to what my thought process was. How he literally looks like their brother. But I'm guessing it's just a look-alike. Normally, the youngsters were taught how to fight by the old man, who was the strongest in our village. But I had a different idea. You told me that you were the strongest among the youngsters, but this old man,
あ
he was way stronger than me, a beast of a man. In fact, he trained me all throughout my childhood. Hikaru. I see it. There. Yeah, even to this day, he's still a beast training like the younger generation. Because I think his evolution helped him with his age a bit. It reduced the age so he's not like super old. He's still pretty old, but he's not that old. Oh, it seems your speed in pursuing me has increased very well. I shall turn my footwork up a notch. Gah! I missed. You can go even faster. You're no old man. You're basically a ghost. Oh, well, apologies if my hands slip and you end up a ghost before I do. Gaya! That was no slip of the hand. Ouch. Now we gotta keep up with the incredible speed. He sure likes to give us one difficult challenge after another. Well, I guess that means we'll get stronger with each other. Oh ho.
Oh.
You guys still at it? You guys were taking so long to come back, so I came up to check on you.
Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha. As you can see, they may whine a lot, but they have plenty of determination. I can't help but get excited when I train them. Yeah, it does seem like they can withstand your harsh training for longer than before. Ow, ouch. I don't know if I'm getting hurt like this counts as withstanding. You know, the way they keep getting up to challenge you again and again, it reminds me of... Him? Huh. Him? Back when the Org village still existed, there was a young man who was the strongest in the village. Man, I kind of hate this sometimes when, like, this trope happens. Like, just so happens that the main character is talking about someone, and then they get talked about by the people they were talking about.
Huh?
Even stronger than you, Benimaru.
Oh.
Yeah, he was way stronger than me. Someone that talented.
そうだな
He and I knew each other since we were kids, just like you guys today. We kept on challenging Hikaru. No, he didn't even have a name back then. We just called him Old Man. Okay, I was trying to think. So yeah, they just called Hikaru Old Man. It's like, how did the humans talk to these guys so often? Did they also just call him old man? Because I feel like the humans that came to train with Hikaru as well would have said, hey, let me just give you a name or something to refer to you as. Hikaru may have evolved now, but his training back then was just as grueling as it is today. Everyone else would run out of steam, but this guy, he just kept. Hold on a sec. What? I'm sure the monsters have no problem identifying each other without names, but as a human, it's really confusing for me to listening to a story featuring a character referred to as this guy. I guess you're right. Okay, the guy I was telling you used to be called brother by everyone. Let me guess. He wasn't an actual big brother to anyone but by blood, right? Yeah, he was a brother to us in a figurative way. I used to have him train me all the time. I guess my basic moves are all largely influenced by him. Oh, now that you say that, I totally get it. What is it suddenly, Gobbet? The first time we met Benimaru and the others, we got into a fight due to a misunderstanding. But their fighting styles were all different at the time, even their weapons and moves. Now that I think about it, that was odd. Why? You use different weapons and moves depending on your physique, right? No, if Benimaru and Shion were trained only by a master, they'd both be using a sword. I use a short sword because I'm small, while Yum and King Gazelle use a long sword. Even if your physiques are different, if you learn swordsmanship, you just pick a sword with a length that suits your size. But Benimaru uses fire, and Shion uses an iron club. So that means that the Auric village had another trainer besides Master. I'm trying to think. Is this right? Because I'm pretty sure she did. Benimaru was using fire and Shion was using an iron club. Yeah, I think her old weapon was an iron club, but today, Shion uses her big sword. And I'm pretty sure Benimaru still used a sword back then. I gotta rewatch those episodes or read it again. But I'm pretty sure he was using a sword then too with the fire. And the trainer was him. How's that for some good detective work? Oh, how rare of you, with such insight. If only you were always like that, things like this would be so much easier for me. Yeah, I don't like that smug look on your face. But it's just like you guessed, Gobbet. The reason Shion and I have different fighting styles is largely because of brother. Before he left the village to become a mercenary, he tried to find fighting styles that would suit those who were going to remain in the village, and tried to help us develop our skills. That being said, he was originally trained by Hikaru, so Hikaru's teachings remain the basis of our moves. All I did was sow the seeds. What one learns from me and how one works in training into one's moves is all down to the individual's own effort, and he trained harder and put in more effort than anyone else. Like I said earlier, he never complained once while taking on Hikaru's challenges. Seriously, I can see how someone would challenge Master over and over again. But without complaining once, that's pretty impressive. Can I hear more about this guy? I'm curious, seeing as we're both apprentices. He's kinda like my senior. Oh, I want to hear too. There's a perfect tree stump right there, so I'll sit down and listen. Admit it, you just want to take a rest. Be easy on him, Hikaru. I'm feeling nostalgic, so I don't mind. Let me tell you a funny story about that day before he left for the village. Like this is what I hate. Literally, they're both telling the exact same story. like the hero and Benimaru. And so I just find that kind of ridiculous. That somehow they're both able to just say the story. Bum, 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 bum.
骨は拾ってくれ。
Bum, 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 bum. Alright, the blue-haired and purple-haired, part 1. One day, Brother summoned the then nameless Soy and Shion to the mountain. He wanted to determine their strong points, you see. Blue hair and purple hair, like I said earlier, one was good at espionage and the other was amazing brute strength. Swiftness versus might. It's not like one was better than the other, but I had them fight it out. I had them spar a couple of times in different locations, on grass, on a rocky hill, in thickly wooded forest, and even the wetlands. Since they had completely different fighting styles, I wanted to see how they would make use of the geographical advantages of each location. 2 wins each, huh? I got some upper hand when it comes to forests and rocky hills. There are plenty of obstacles. As for me, I have an upper hand in places that have good visibility, where I can use all my strength without holding back. Right, good. Knowing your enemy and understanding yourself is the first rule of combat. You both have the ability to observe your enemies, but to look within yourselves, you still need a third party like me, right? He's determining which battlefields bring out the best in us. That must mean... Shh, Britt's probably gonna ask us to join him as mercenaries later. Let's just pretend to focus on training, or else he might change his mind. You think so? Since you're dexterous, how about using 2 swords? You should work on extending your sword too. If you go through the forest towards the west, you should be able to find a rare spider building its webs. When did you find something like that? Always keeping your eyes open, being aware of which creatures exist, where is an important part of surviving. The spider's exoskeleton would make a good blade, and its thread would give you a good grip on the handle. I'd say it's perfect material for a second sword. Why don't you go hunt it? Dual swords, huh? I'll go get the materials. Yeah, he already has 2 swords in his model. I guess they couldn't even take away one of the swords, but I guess. Brother, do you have any advice for me? Okay, I'm guessing Shion's like all up in his face. That's why she's so big. But it's like it's the exact same model. So just like super expanded up. Of course, having watched you fight, well, I already know this about you before, but you are strong. Obviously. No, that's not all. Not only do you have arm strength, but you got leg strength to stand firm, and good hip rotation. You're basically best with an excellent core strength. Let's see. Yeah, you should use a club, a long club, with a lump of iron at the end. Normally, a weapon's center of gravity should be closer to the handle, because if it were near the end, it would feel really heavy. But with your strength... Right. I better go with the iron ore. There's probably some over in that rocky hill. Okay, I'm off, brother. Huh, she's already gone. Sheesh! She jumps around like an oil in a hot pan. Why was Soy just looking back? I wanted them to make weapons that would be best suited to their own abilities, so that they could help protect the village. And so, I sent them off to gather materials. Someday. Someday, when I hope this nation is revitalized, and we can increase our armaments for our defensive, I hope that you would... Sure, I'll gladly be an instructor, or in charge of procuring weapons, or whatever. After all, I choose to serve you in this nation. Hero? I'm guessing we're gonna have to fight against them again? Yeah, okay. Figured. I wonder how long the story event is gonna be on this flashback. Slima. Boom, boom. Red Hair Young Master Part 1. Boom, 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 boom. Brother asked Soy and Shion to gather the materials for their weapons, and everything seemed to be going fine. However, knowing this is a funny story, and that Shion is involved, I can already guess where this is going. Yeah, but my timing was kinda bad too. You see, that day, I had asked Brother to train me, like usual. Back then, after training with me, Young Master would immediately start training on his own, so that he didn't lose his touch. Damn, how much stamina do you have? No wonder you were next in line as chief of the ogres. No, it's just that I was under a lot of pressure back then. I thought that if I was going to be chief one day, then I needed to train twice as hard as everyone else. That's why I literally trained twice. On top of that, I was young and immature. Whenever I went to see Brother, I tried my best not to show that I was tired, but every time... You're barely breathing. Come on, don't push yourself. Like, look, he's already using the sword in that model. Young Master was desperately trying to seem tough, so if I didn't say anything to him, he'd overexert himself. I think I kinda understand how the Young Master must have felt, though. I bet you do. You're both in a similar position. No, I was just ditzy. No, I was just a little dizzy. Which is a sign you need rest. He was the same. Young Master wouldn't listen when I tell him to take a rest either. I'd always end up having to train him. Anyway, I got busy training with him that I forgot all about blue hair and purple hair, and that led to a misunderstanding. Huh? Where's Brother? It's almost sunset. He's probably training with Young Master right now. It's usually around that time of the day. But I wanted to show him the materials we gathered. It doesn't matter. We got the materials. So let's just start making the weapons on our own. Yeah, you're right. We should make them while he's not here and surprise him. Surprise him. He's the one who told us to make the weapons. I doubt he'll be surprised. Whatever. Come on. I'm sure our friend will help us make good weapons. Guess they're talking about Black Hair Org or... What's his name? I forget what his name is.
えーっと
Did they go and see Black Hair, the craftsman? Yep.
うん
Yeah, they asked Black Hair to make the weapons while I was away. But boy, did they get it wrong.
どうしただ
These are some fine materials. Spider thread, exoskeleton, iron ore. Brother told you to gather all of these? What, are they gonna just fuse all the weapon materials together? And just make some, I guess, like, weird fusion? Instead of doing what they were supposed to properly do? Of, like, making, I guess, the spider thread exoskeleton into a sword. And then make the iron into a mace or whatever.
実は
Yeah, he wants me to make another. How did he know? Oh, that longsword.
んだ
Oh, brother just asked me to take a look at it.
んだな
The chief gave me this longsword to brother when he was little, but now he's grown, and he says he needs the length to center of gravity adjusted. I knew it. Why does brother always have to be so roundabout? He should have just told us.
は
I don't follow.
えへん
Don't you get it? The iron ore, the thread for the handle, the exoskeleton for the blade. Brother wanted to gather the materials he needed to upgrade his own weapon. No, brother told me to make a second sword.
あれ
Did he? But he also said to extend your sword. It'd be difficult to wield two swords if they were long, right? Your current sword's short. No, he didn't mean extend as making it longer. I like this. Shion's overthinking it too much in like literally his exact words. In like, so it means he probably means like this and this. Ah, yes, that's what he meant by extend. While Soy is literally like, no, he literally told me he wanted me to make a second sword. And he didn't mean that when he meant, whatever, like, he was saying.
ええ
And he was telling me to make a weapon that was heavier at the end, remember? Brother wants his long sword to be longer, and with the center of gravity shifted further away from his hands.
どうです
Can't you see? Brother wants to read between the lines. Like, see, she's overthinking it. He wants to reforge his weapons. He's testing us to see if we can interpret things correctly, like a good mercenary would. I think you're reading way too much into it. I knew Soy. But, nope, they're probably gonna do it anyway, or what's his name? The black hair is gonna do it anyway. He's just taking orders. And since Shion's is like unfortunately more confident and like just trying to say orders, yeah.
んだんだ
Well, it's just gonna be a test to see if you guys can become mercenaries. I better not mess up. I'll give this everything I got. Guys. Gah, I'm beat. Isn't that enough, young master? Come on, let's call it a day, okay? I'm not tired. At all. I just need something sweet. And I'll be back up in no time.
そういえば
You're still sucking on the nectar of those wildflowers around here, right? How do you know? When I went over the hill, I saw a whole bunch of wildflowers with their petals taken off. You sucked the nectar out of them, didn't you? You're lucky those flowers aren't lethal. Don't you remember getting a stomachache from sucking on nectar from poisonous flowers? Well, I can't help it. It's not like there are any other way to find something sugary around here. And I know which ones are poisonous now. Geez, it's true that the sweetness can help alleviate exhaustion, but you're exhausted on a level that can't be cured by licking some nectar. Just go home and get some rest. Fuck. So, what are we gonna do now, brother?
あ
I completely forgot. I sent those two to gather weapon materials, so I better go check up on them. Okay, but be careful. You two, don't go scavenging for food, okay? Of course not. And now we're gonna have to do a fight. Lovely. Also, I should probably switch out some characters so I can get a higher percentage. Can't believe that Benimaru is only 5%. You'd think they would put some increased rates for some of these guys. Alright, well, whatever. Is this the final mission? Because that's a bigger enemy. I mean, he doesn't have a huge health bar. Like, I think usually the final enemies have the biggest health bars, but it was just one big enemy. Flower nectar is stuff that turns into honey, right? Yeah, I'm so glad that we found different ways to extract sweetness. Oh, I mean, I'm sure Shuna's happy that she was able to expand her cooking repertoire. Haha, so back to what you were saying. Who exactly were the two guys that he had forgotten about? Right, they were Soy and Shion. Before they got their names, as we were in the local forest, I went home first, knowing that the three of them could never get lost. But when I got back... Wood for a bonfire? Wait, don't tell me this is... I knew it. Brother, what's the matter? You look distressed. Those dishes. You're preparing for a party, right? Is he leaving already? Yes, it seems so. I saw them forging weapons as a farewell gift, so I think he's leaving very soon. I too am going to give a prayer for him, as the Holy Princess. I better contribute as well. Do you think you can prepare another big dish? I'll go hunt a spectacular magical beast. Oh yes, that would be great. It would have been a bit bland if we only had vegetables. Jeez, I was just with brother. I wish he could have told me. That's strange. They're not here. How far did those guys go to find materials? Okay, so I'm guessing that's the mishap. That's like, not only did they make a weapon for him that he didn't want. Well, I mean, he did want it, but not from them. But then because they're giving a gift, and that the gift is like so big, magnificent, whatever, that it looks like it's super special occasion, like he's already leaving for his expedition. So everyone else prepares the party that they were going to have, like, I don't know, a day, a week early, for however many days, all because they screwed that up. Gerzark. Judging by how bloodthirsty this remaining spider is, they must have already got a hold of the materials. Hey, I'm not the one that you want to get revenge on. Not that the spider can tell what I'm saying. Huh? Even the lizards from the rocky hill came down. That must mean that they both finished gathering materials. Be quiet. Anyway, I must have missed them on the way here. Okay, I'll quickly take down a couple of these guys, then head back. After all, there's no way I can carry all these magical beasts back to the village. That's strange. Usually there'd be some big meaty magical beasts roaming around this area. This is the tallest hill around. Could they have gone down to the village? No, they wouldn't risk running into ogres for no reason. Not unless someone angered the magical beast. Oh! I completely forgot I sent the two to gather weapon materials, so I better go check up on them. They must have raided their nest. Sheesh, I wish they already told me they were going to host a farewell party for brother. That way we could have gathered the food and materials for the weapons more efficiently. Why are they always so vague? Always want to convey things without words. Huh. That flower, that's... How's it going? Do you think you can finish it today? Yeah, I'll do whatever it takes to finish it, but I'm not cutting any corners either. It's going to be strong. That brother will be able to use it for the rest of his life without it breaking.